So namaste and welcome to Yoga with Priyanka. Thank you for joining me today as the weather warms up. And so we're going to do a flow today which encompasses chakra healing aspects. So we're going to do many of the poses that we normally do, but focus on the energy centers that are located along the length of the spine. And when you close your eyes, you can just rest the awareness on those specific points based on the poses that we're doing to tap into that energy and literally visualize that each time you rest your awareness on the energy center, that you're sending healing energy to not just the energy center, but also to the area around it. So to start with, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes, make yourself comfortable. And visualize or set the intention for your practice. It could look something like, I'm going to spend the next few moments on my mat or the next hour on my mat, tapping into energy centers and healing the base chakras. As your eyes are closed, I'm going to invite you to take a deep, full, nourishing breath in through the nostrils, exhale out from your mouth. And as you breathe in, literally breathe in, imagine that the breath is flowing in from the crown of your head, moving all the way down to your root chakra. And then when you exhale, imagine that energy traveling back up and coming out from your mouth so that you're relaxing the body, releasing tension. And sending healing energy throughout. So at the pace that is comfortable, take the second or the third breath, depending on where you are on the deep breathing front. Scan your body. Once you've finished the 3 deep breaths, just resume your normal breathing and then just scan the body, noticing if there's any tightness or tension throughout. If your eyes are opened or closed, it doesn't matter, but just stretch the legs out. So I'm going to turn sideways. And we'll start with the seated forward bend, which because of the fact that the sit bones are on the ground, so we're closest to the ground, then it means that the first chakra, the Muladhara chakra, is closest. So we're going to use this pose to ground ourselves. So I'm going to invite you to sweep your arms up, lengthen, and then exhale, fold forward. Keep it as a gentle forward fold, more like a passive one, so your knees can be bent, your legs can be slightly apart or together, and you're just allowing your body to relax. Head and neck comfortable. Focusing on the root chakra, tapping into that energy of stability and groundedness. The root chakra is closest to the ground. So we're going to imagine pulling that grounding earthy energy up through the sit bones. And let that healing energy spread throughout the legs, all the way to the feet, all the way up towards the shoulders, down the length of the arms. And then from the arms, moving all the way back up to the shoulders, towards the neck, the crown of your head. And then allow yourself to straighten up, bringing the soles of your feet together. So we're going to move to the second energy center, bound angle, baddha konasan. You can interlace your fingers. You can keep your legs close or further away. And for this, you can do this in three ways. One is to flap your knees up and down, which is butterfly or titali. The second is to just stay still with your back straight. And the third variation is to exhale, lean forward, press the elbows into your calf muscles so that you get a deeper inner thigh stretch. So picking one of the three. Moving your awareness from the root, Muladhara chakra, up to the Svadhisthana chakra, the second one. And you're imagining that your breath is flowing in through the crown of your head, flowing all the way down to the second chakra. Spreading healing energy, tapping into creativity. And if you like, you can even visualize the colors. So red is for the root chakra, and allow the red merge with the second color, which would be like an amber. Imagine the healing energy coating the internal organs, the thighs, perineum region. And you can almost visualize the red and the orange or the amber dancing together, merging, blending, coating the inside of your body with all this healing energy. Allowing the breath to flow up and down the length of your spine, taking that creativity and the sexual freedom, since this is what the second energy center represents. Holding for another breath or two. And then finally, straightening yourself up. But this time, what we're going to do is we're going to stretch one leg out. So, what we're going to do is we're going to merge two chakra centers and keep the leg folded in. So, we're going to do janu sirsasan, which is head to knee. So, you're like, welcome to sweep your arms up, exhale into a forward fold. And this way, we're still tapping into the first two energy centers. So, we're doing a forward fold with half of the hip opening aspect. And then I'm going to invite you to put your left hand maybe on your leg, or you can keep it below wherever you are most comfortable. And we're going to gently tap into the third chakra. So you're going to take your right hand and exhale into a twist. Yes, you can keep your left hand on your shin, your ankle, or even on your big toe. Eyes can be closed, turning the head wherever or however much you're most comfortable doing this. And as your eyes are closed, you're imagining that breath flowing into the body, tapping into the Manipura chakra, the third energy center, merging with the second and the first, flowing that energy that's healing all the way down to your toes on the left leg, and then back up the length of the body, literally releasing from your fingertips on the right hand, as well as the crown of your head. And on your next exhale, fold or bring your right hand onto your left leg, and then we're going to switch sides. So you're welcome to release by lifting your arms, straightening your spine, let your hands relax, switching sides. So stretch the right leg out, fold the left leg in. Sweeping the arms, lengthening, exhale, fold forward. So once again over here, you're going to imagine the energy merging with the other two chakras. Keep your knee micro bent and allow yourself to relax, breathing healing energy into your body. Focusing on the region where the third, the second, and the first energy center are located along the length of the spine. And then we'll do the twist. So tapping into the third center, so you can rest your right hand either on the ankle, shin, or the big toe. And exhale into the twist, turning as much as you comfortably can. And we'll hold this for 3 breath counts. And similarly, you're going to imagine the energies of all 3 chakras merging. And then when you exhale, you're going to imagine that the breath is releasing from the mouth, the crown of the head, as well as the energy is releasing from your fingertips. So 3 breath counts. You might be able to see if your eyes are open or closed. Well, if they're open, you'll see that I've got 3 fingers out so that I can focus on the experience of the breath and keep the count on the fingers. So this is one way to occupy the mind. And then gently releasing on an exhale, bring your left hand down, come back to your forward fold, releasing from it. So we're going to turn to the right, and what we're going to do is we're going to do Vishnu's pose anantasan, which again is hip opening and hamstring stretch. We'll also tap into all 3 chakras. So as you lay down, you're welcome to rest your head on your upper arm or do the cradle head on your arm or the Jane Fonda variation, whichever works for you. Lift your leg up and you're welcome to keep the lower one bent. If you feel like your foot is lifted, I'm exaggerating a little bit, just open or lessen the amount that it's folded in. Once you've come into Vishnu's pose, Anantasan, gently pull the leg towards your head, keeping the knee micro bent or soft. Visualize the 3 colors merging. And then gently exhale back down. You're welcome to lift yourself up, roll over to the other side. We're repeating this. Lifting your leg up, grab the toe, grab wherever you're most comfortable. So it could be the thigh, calf muscle, ankle, sole of your foot, or big toe. Or if you don't feel like holding, you can just leave the the right leg lifted up and let your hand relax in front of you. Close your eyes, focusing on the breath, and just observe the breath flowing along the length of the spine. Then gently exhale down. I'm going to invite you to now roll over onto your stomach. Lift yourself up into the cat and cow. And what we're going to do is we're going to release tension from the lower back. So rounding your back, we'll do cat and cow. Visualize the tension from the lower back releasing. You might also want to kind of look over the right shoulder, get a little bit of a twist, left shoulder. Yeah, sometimes people like to do more movements. So I'm going to let you just kind of stay in this and do a variation of movements that will work for your body. Then come into stillness. So just the neutral tabletop. Then I'm going to have you just kind of move only the pelvic region. Once you've done 3 or 4 of these, we're going to bring the left leg, and I'm going to start with the left, on the outside of the left shoulder. So coming into lizard, take your right knee a little further back. So this is again targeting opening up the hips, bend your elbows. You can place a block, bolster, or cushion underneath your elbows. So again, bringing the awareness to the second chakra for lizard. Hip opening. Notice if the sensation increases, decreases, or stays the same the longer we hold lizard. And then we'll release. Switch, bringing the right leg on the outside of your shoulder. Bend your elbows. And gently release. Coming back onto your knees, I'm going to now invite you to stand. Once you're standing in a forward fold, keeping the knees bent, just unroll gently, vertebrae by vertebrae, just because then it takes the pressure off your lower back, and coming up slowly will help you avoid a head rush. So, balance, and you can do the balance in whichever way that you want. So, you can do either lifting your foot up slightly, or you can keep the foot on the mat, whichever variation, or you can do the tree pose, vrksasan, against your shin or your thigh. And then once you come into whichever variation of balance works for you, pick the arms, can be prayer, cactus, however you want to stay balanced. And then bring the energy or the awareness to the energy of all three lower chakras. Mainly, of course, Muladhara, grounding, stability, balance. And smile into your pose so that you don't take it too seriously. And soften. That will help us soften into holding this pose. And then release. Shake it out. So we're not just strengthening our balance, but we're also strengthening this leg that we're standing on. So now flipping over to the other side, roll your toe onto the mat. Come into whichever variation of your balance that you want to do. Picking your arms, finding your drishti or your gaze point. And then I'd like to invite you to be mindful of the breath flowing into your body, all the way down to the belly, all the way down to the energy centers, and then flowing back up again. And you can always think of it like a tree. Are you an oak tree that will snap in the storm, or a willow tree that will just flow in the wind? And then gently release. Shake it out. From here, I'm going to invite you to open your feet. So we're going to do two poses. Again, targeting this entire region. So second chakra. Toes are pointed to the edges of the corner of your mats. You might see my little pink. And then squatting. So when you squat down, you want your knees to be directly over the ankle. Prayer position in front of your heart. If you want to kind of just move a little bit, and then come back into a space of stillness. Breathing deeply into the energy around the lower chakras, healing, relaxing. And then we're going to straighten up, bring the feet together, and do a low squat. So if you're comfortable doing the low squat, you're basically going to bring the legs closer and come fully down. If this doesn't work for you, you can always grab your cushion or a block and then place the sit bones on it, getting the support. So we'll do happy baby feet in case knees and ankles don't like this. We can do the flip reverse variation of this pose, but we'll just hold this for 1 or 2 breaths. Gently closing the eyes, focusing on the energy center. And then relax. So here I'm going to get you to lower the sit bones onto the mat. Stretch your legs out. If you need to shake them, please do. Take a deep, full breath in and out. Left leg will go over the right knee, coming into a gentle twist in ardha matsyendrasan. So you're going to circle, place your left hand behind either on the mat, the floor, or a cushion or a block. You're welcome to hold, wrap, and then just come into your twist. The third variation is to straighten the arm, place it against your thigh, come into the twist. So depending on how intense you want your pose to be, you can pick and then gently close your eyes. Again, focusing on now the third chakra, Manipura, which also represents the internal organs. So take a moment to thank each internal organ. And it doesn't have to be only just the digestive ones, but thank all, since we're focusing on the lower chakras today. And the colors for the 3 chakras are red, orange, and yellow. So imagine them swirling, strengthening, and then swivel back to center. On an inhale, stretch the legs out, shake again if you need to, and then bring your foot over, right foot over your left knee. Exhale into your twist, picking the variation that will work best for you today. And you want to also just check in to make sure that your back is straight. And though your left leg is straight, you can always micro bend the knee. Toes are straight up to the ceiling. And then once you are comfortable in the twist of the Lord of the Fishes, also known as ardha matsyendrasan, also known as spinal twist. Focusing on the energy centers, healing, releasing, letting go, and being open to receive. And then finally, swiveling back on an inhale to the center. Stretch your right leg out, shake it if you need to. And then I'd like to take a moment to invite you to now lie down. So we'll start with bending the knees as you lie down. Feet are flat on the mat. Bridge, sethubandasan, lifting the hips up. And from the third chakra, we're going to move up to the heart, which is green. And so as the heart opens, the chest is open, eyes can be closed. Imagine breathing healing energy in to your heart center, wrapping it around your heart.
And then that energy of love, compassion, tenderness, this beautiful green emerald spreads throughout the body. And then when you exhale, you're releasing that tender, loving, compassionate energy into the universe. You're welcome to lower your hips back down when you take your next exhalation. And then I'd like to invite you to do the legs up on the wall variation, either with a bolster or a wall. So place the block or the bolster under your sit bones and then just lift the legs up. So this is a variation of legs up on the wall. It's very good for the lower back. Tuck the chin in. And now what we're doing is we're not just focusing on the chest and of course the lower three, but you're bringing your awareness up to your throat, which is turquoise. So the energy center of expression, truth. Imagine heart and throat energy centers. The colors are merging, vibrant. You're also allowing your feet a much needed relaxation. So rotate the ankles clockwise, counterclockwise. If you want to bend your left knee in as you stretch your right leg out into like a supported fish, then switch sides, bend the right knee into your chest, stretch the left leg out, let it hover above the mat, or if you want, you can let it rest on the mat, but we're not holding it and then releasing it. And then finally, bring your feet back onto the mat. Remove, if you have the block underneath or a bolster under your hips, and then allow your sit bones to fully relax. Then I'm going to invite you to come into bound angle, recline bound angle. We're going to stay here for a breath or two. So tapping into all of the energy centers, and then visualize bringing your awareness up from your throat to your third eye. And this is indigo. So your lower three chakras are strong. We've tapped into heart, throat, and then finally now intuition. Bringing your legs back up or your knees back up. Come into happy baby feet, which is the flips version of malasan. And so you're welcome to roll, gently massaging, or stay still, pressing or pushing outwards. Eyes can be gently closed. And then finally releasing happy baby feet. We're going to lie back down in savasan with the arms stretched out. Roll your head from side to side. And we'll make adjustments for the last and the final chakra and final relaxations. So, making yourself comfortable, cover with a shawl or a blanket if you need to. And then imagine from here, once you've made yourself comfortable, I'm going to invite you to take 3 full, deep, nourishing breaths in through the nostrils, exhaling out from your mouth. However, this time, I'd like to invite you to visualize your third eye awareness moving to the crown of your head. So as you take these 3 deep breaths, you're focusing on white purity, cosmic connection, wisdom of the universe, flowing into your body, moving down the length of your spine, tapping into each energy center, protecting it, coating it, and then closing each energy center as the breath flows back out. So we've just spent today's session opening and tapping into them. And now we're going to protect them by closing them. And know that you're feeling fully grounded, rooted, loving, intuitive, with the wisdom of the universe. Repeating in your mind, I relax my toes, my legs, and my hip. My toes, legs, and hip are relaxed. I relax my stomach, my chest, and my shoulders. My stomach, chest, and shoulders are relaxed. I relax my arms, my elbows, and my wrists. My arms, elbows, and wrists are relaxed. I relax my neck, my jaw, and my eyes. My neck, jaw, and eyes are relaxed. I relax my liver, my lungs, and my heart. My liver, lungs, and heart are relaxed. I relax my entire body, breathing, and my thoughts. My body, breathing, and thoughts are relaxed. Inhale deeply. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing the energy and the awareness to your body. You're welcome to give yourself a stretch. Flex and point your toes. Feel all the tension releasing throughout. You're welcome to roll over to your favorite side. Take a few moments and come to a seated position whenever you are ready. And then once you're up, take one deep, full, nourishing breath in and out. Gently bring your palms together to warm them. Cup them over your eyes. Thank your energy centers and your body for today's practice. Namaste.